Hello, everyone. My name is Audun, and today I'm going to talk about what we do in DragonBox. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to HundrED for having us and for believing in us and what we do. So I've really been looking forward to this, but I've never done a Facebook Live before. So this is a first time of probably a lot more in the future. So the next 28 minutes or so, I'm going to talk about how we are making a major impact in schools in both Norway and Finland right now. But before I do that, I just want to add some of the key questions we wanted to answer when we started doing both apps and to do this school product. One of the key questions was, how can we get kids to explore more in the classroom? Can we create some kind of universe that engages the kids and get them to really start to really want to explore mathematics and to maybe think of math as more than just answering questions right in a short matter of time. So that you know that these next minutes will be about how we are trying to both change some of the teaching in Norway and Finland and also in France, but also how we can just take what's really good in the schools already and just create much more meaning, deeper learning, a new way of seeing number sense and all sorts of things. So today I'm going to talk to take you on to a journey. And before I do that, I just want to say for everyone listening in on the live and for everyone joining later, just give a thumbs up and comment where you come from so we can engage in some way. And I will try to add some of it during the presentation here. I've seen some of the 100 presentations so far, and I can see that a lot of them are talk about what they do, and I really want to show you a lot of the things we do here in DragonBox, because I think for you to understand what we do and how we make an impact, I think it's really important just to see what we are doing with the digital part and the concrete part. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Audun again. I don't think my parents actually thought we're going to do anything international, so they gave me this traditional Norwegian name that everyone struggles to pronounce. But I'm actually a teacher from Norway. I've been teaching for quite some time, for kids from 6 years old to 13. I've also been working as a guidance counselor for other teachers, teachers training, and other stuff towards both teachers and kids. Right now, I'm working as a country manager here in DragonBox and in DragonBox in Norway, because we do different things in different countries. So the journey I'm going to take you on today is two different journeys, actually. One is my journey on how I ended up here, and the other one is DragonBox, the journey of DragonBox. So I'm going to start with my journey and to talk a little bit about what I did and how I got engaged with teaching and learning. And then I'm going to talk about how I met DragonBox and what they did before I met them and what we did together. So to start off with me, yeah, I worked as a teacher, and I think I taught 6th and 7th grade, and then I got down and taught 1st grade my 3rd year as a teacher. And I think that was the first time I really struggled as a teacher. I really felt that I really felt unprepared, because when I teach 7th grade, I felt I had control over, at least in math, but when I took the 1st graders, it was like a whole new world. So I think this was a beginning of me how I wanted to evolve as a teacher. And it could have gone both ways, because we know that a lot of teachers quit after their 1st years as a teacher. But I think mainly because I have the right mindset, I thought of it as part of my journey towards becoming a better teacher. So instead of feeling like a failure, I felt that I had I had to work with myself and work with how I could teach. So I worked as a teacher for quite some time after that. And then I did my master's degree. And when I did my master's, I wanted to see how the kids, how their self-perception, how it made a difference on how they solved problem solving. So I saw kids, they actually had, they were good at math, but they never started on the tasks that we did when we had problem solving, because they were afraid to fail. So that was probably one of my first, I really felt that this was a life changer for me, because I saw that a lot of kids were struggling with just afraid of failing, and they didn't see math as like this part of a process. They just saw it as either you know the answer or you fail. So throughout this process, I met the people from DragonBox, and I really saw that this was something else. And before I go into what happened with us and how we created something together, I just want to tell you a little bit about their story, because some of you have probably heard about DragonBox before. And DragonBox started out as an app. So before that, our founder, one of our founders, Jean-Baptiste, he created, he worked as a teacher in Norway. And he worked in high school, and he saw a lot of kids struggling with different subjects, as, for example, algebra. So algebra was this subject, either when you were, if you were a kid that really were good at math, you also struggled with algebra. So the thing is, he wanted to change that. He wanted to see how could we get the kids to explore more, how could we get them to understand algebra by using like different cars to see which one was connected in some way. I know it's hard to understand, but I will show you a little bit about it. So, and then he met up with one of the other founders, Patrick from France, and then they created the game called DragonBox Algebra. So what they do is they go from cards, and I will show you about it, and then they end up with these really hard equations. So let me show you. This is the beginning of this game, and as you can see, you cannot see the algebra yet, but you can see there is a knight card, and there is in every card here, and the knight card is actually a negative. So the negative equals the positive out, and it becomes like this green thing but when you evolve in the app, you see that this green thing is 0. And the thing is, you have to get this box alone. And this box is not the X right now, but it turns into an X later on. So I'll just skip to the latest part in the one of the algebra apps. And as you can see, it turns into this big thing. But the good thing about it is that I talked to a teacher actually last week about it. And he said, if you have a digital, it's like the kids can just press everything and they can try everything. And I think he meant it in a negative way. But this is actually really positive because they can explore different things in the app. For example, I can drag this over here, but it won't help me, so I go back again. I can add things here, so I can do whatever I want, but the problem is I have to find the way. Here I added a 4, so I also have to add a 4 on that side. And as you can see, this will never help me either. So this is about exploration, but every time you learn a new rule, for example, how to do fractions or something like that, you will get a rule inside the game. I will show you how we present it. As you can see here, you have a new power. And the new power, you can press something here and yeah, something happens. So every time you show the kids a new rule, you show it through a superpower. So this was the first game, and we have created 6 games in total after that. I cannot show you everything, but I will show you what we ended up with, because when we created the apps, we saw that it was taken into schools, and we didn't just want the kids to use the apps and didn't want this to be like practice, practice, practice. We wanted to be exploration and then a conversation about it afterwards. So to secure that, we created this school product I'm going to present to you today. So yeah, I talked a little bit about the apps or the journey from DragonBox. I think throughout all of our games, we have won, I think I counted 29 different awards. So we are pretty well known. We have sold over 1 million different apps all over the world. Not 1 million different, but over 1 million apps. But we, like I said, we wanted to make a difference in school. And to make a difference, I think we have to do something bigger. So let's talk a little bit about the school product here. Behind me here, you can see a smart board. I'm actually in the classroom because I've just had a course with 40 teachers here in Norway. And we have been talking about how we can explore more, how can we use the tools we have to create engaging conversations and deeper learning with the kids. So I will go through some of the apps with you, and you can see how we use this as exploration. So this is what we call a learning lab. And the learning labs, we use them to get the kids to explore different things. Instead of me teaching the kids about, for example, the equal sign, I could get them to actually learn by themselves, and then they could teach me what the equal sign is all about. Before we go into that, I want to show you what the neumes are, because we use the neumes, in different ways. And this is actually one of the things we do to have like a more focus on quantities instead of only counting and number line. We know that, at least in Norway, the kids are really used to, like, numbers is about counting. From kindergarten, they are counting, they learn counting songs and everything. And when they come to school, they think that 8 is like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. and it's after 7 and before 9. But 8 is much more than that. So I will show you something here. So these are the neumes. And you can also find the neumes in one of the apps we have for the private market all over the world. It's called Dragonbox Numbers. But the thing is, when we use them in the school solution, we use them in a different way. So here you can see a lot of ones. I can do whatever I want with them. But the thing is, you can combine them. So now, you know, it's hard to see how many ones there are. So let's just see what it is. So 1 and 1 more is 2. So you can see the 2 here. You can see I'm actually wearing the 2. His name is Duo. And this little guy, his name is Uno. And he's actually afraid of everything. So we have a story about him because we know that stories really engage, the kids get really engaged with the stories. But I will come back to that later. So this is 2. So if we add 1, it turns into 3. So 3 and 1 more, we have 4, we have 5, and we have 6. So how can we see that this is actually 6 ones? We can do it in different ways, like this. We can slice them. So already you can see that we can combine numbers in a different way that nobody has ever done, because we can have this, like I have these rods here. You have 1 here, you have this is number 9. So we have them concrete, but when we do it digital, we can actually manipulate them. So we can get the kids to really to really explore what this actually is. So we can slice them like this, but we can also have this X-ray machine, so we can see inside, and we can see that this is 6 ones no matter what. If I slice it again, it's still 6 ones. So this concept really helps the kids to go deeper into what numbers actually are. So this is just the neumes. So I will show you one of the things we do when we explore, for example, the equal sign. So let me go back here in the app, and then I will show you how we do it when we explore. So let me find it here. Here it is. And as you can see, there we have a lot of different tools here. Every picture you saw there was a different tool for exploration. So this is what we call the relation lab. So instead of me I wanted to teach the kids about the equal sign. So I explain how it is, and they could see, okay, if we have this one thing here, we have to have the same here and everything. But it's still me explaining to the kids how it really is. So instead of that, let's just see how the kids could explore this by themselves. So if I would give this to a kid, I would say, okay, the goal today is that you have to explain this sign to me. You have to explain what it is, what it does, but you will also see 2 different signs like this. So if you could explain that to me too, it would be like a bonus. But the goal is this sign over here. But you can also just explore everything here, but you have to remember the goal, because the goal is about this sign. So what happens? The kids, they start pushing the different things there. Oh, sorry, I will just change that. And when I push something, the sign changes. As you can see here, I have 1 here. If I push it here, I will have the equal sign back, because 1 is equal with 1. But the good thing is that if you do it like this, you could see if we have 3 here, and now we have 3 plus 1, we could have like this. So what we try to do here is that instead of just telling the kids how it is, we always ask questions. So the thing I said today was that to everyone in the course today. I said, never ask for an answer, because the kids will give you the answers, and then you can ask questions again, and then you can ask questions. So every time they ask a question, we don't give them the answers, we just ask new questions. So like this, I would say, so the equal sign is still here, but it's not the same, because you have 1, 2, and 1, and here you have 3 and 1. So the kids have to really argue and find, like, they have to prove that these are actually similar. So the kids will probably say that, yeah, but you can see that 1 plus 2 is 3. Oh, so you can, okay, let me see. Oh, so it's the same. Okay, so now, so it doesn't mean it has to be the same nums, it just have to be the same amount of ones, for example. Different ways. When I press here, oh, sorry. Let's see how we can have better connection.